Welcome to Doppler Dale's Weather Post. I appreciate you stopping by for today's weather briefing for July the 7th, taking it about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd like to welcome a bunch of newcomers stopping by the blog site today. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you stop by often. We update the blog pretty regularly, basically on a daily basis, and we get 2 or 3 weather briefings a week in here. So we hope that you stop by. We're also looking for your feedback and your comments. We continually update the blog based on your feedback and comments to meet your needs. So you can leave those comments right here, or you can email them to me at dopplerdale@dopplerdale.com. Well, today we'll be talking about the Tropical Storm Blanca that is in the Pacific. We'll also take a look at the tropics in the Atlantic, and we'll take a look at some wet times across the Gulf Coast currently and up in the Northeast. And finally, we'll also talk about a building heat wave in the Central Plains that will spread somewhat eastward as we head through the next 7 days. So let's go ahead and get started with today's weather briefing. We'll start out by looking at the satellite data right now. Lots of clouds across the Dakotas and the southwest Minnesota in association to a stationary boundary out there, and some showers and thunderstorms. Showers and thunderstorms in New England, keeping it cloudy there from eastern Great Lakes all the way back into Maine, and also along the Gulf Coast from East Texas into Florida. Here's the upper level weather pattern. We'll take a closer look at that in a few minutes. As of 1 o'clock, 91 in Dallas and in El Paso on the way into the mid-90s, 82 in Louisville, and only 64 cool degrees currently in Boston. Cold front pushing into New England, triggering off more showers and thunderstorms. Going to keep it cool there. Another stationary boundary across the Dakotas, firing showers and thunderstorms, some of which could become severe later this afternoon. And a stationary boundary along the Gulf Coast keeps things very unsettled. Waves of showers and thunderstorms across the Gulf Coast for the next couple of days. Anywhere you see yellow on the map, that's slight risk for some severe thunderstorms across the Dakotas into Iowa, also across New England. And anywhere in the green, that's general thunderstorms. Here's a look at the radar, all the areas lighting up in the New England, the Dakotas, and also down along the Gulf Coast, where fortunately they just don't need to see a whole lot of rain because they've seen quite a bit of rain in the last 24 hours. A look down on the Floridian radar, west-east progression there. Again, it's waves of showers and thunderstorms. We'll see this fill in overnight tonight into tomorrow, and some very heavy rains are possible once again for Wednesday and even into Thursday, with another 2 to 4 inches of rainfall possible for portions of the Panhandle into northern Florida. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 7 p.m. local time across portions of New England. That's the gold area. The yellow areas are some severe thunderstorm warnings. Taking a look at the New England radar shows some strong severe thunderstorms from Vermont down into portions of Connecticut and Massachusetts, and also on to Long Island. Also got more thunderstorms firing back into portions of New York, northern and western New York, and into north central portions of Pennsylvania. And a look out into the Dakotas shows thunderstorms into North Dakota, South Dakota, and southwest Minnesota. This area will be filling in as we head through the afternoon and evening hours once we get more heating of the day to take place. And that shows up very good on the model's depiction of the radar for this evening. You can see quite a bit of rainfall there into Nebraska and South Dakota, also into Iowa, and rain showers and thunderstorms hanging on in New England and in the Gulf coastal areas. But look overnight tonight. By midnight, the rain starts to fill back in across the northern Gulf of Mexico. Still dealing with rain across a large part of New England, and some rain showers into Illinois and parts of the Midwest. And by tomorrow morning, look at all that rain there moving into northern Florida. This is again the model's interpretation, but it does look like that is very likely for tomorrow. So if you have any plans to head to the beach tomorrow, to Destin, Pensacola, or over to Tallahassee, unfortunately it's not looking good. It looks very wet, and that rain will likely even make it down into portions of Orlando, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and maybe even heading all the way over to Daytona Beach. A look at the tropics. There is a weak tropical wave now from Cuba down in towards Honduras, Guatemala. Not anticipated for this wave to develop into anything. It's relatively weak. It does show up pretty well though on satellite because it is firing a few showers and thunderstorms, but that's about the extent of things. Otherwise, it looks clear across a large part of the Gulf, and we're anticipating that to take the place. Tropical Storm Blanca, not looking very well here on satellite. It's not anticipated to really invigorate itself over the next 24 to 48 hours. Actually, it's going to be weakening and losing its definition completely and becoming just a tropical depression. You can see that on the track that will take it off to the west-northwest by tomorrow morning back to a tropical depression, and not anticipated then to refire back into a tropical storm or even back to hurricane status. A look at what we call the spaghetti plots. This is a plot of a bunch of different tracks from different models. Late in the period, the remnants of Tropical Storm Blanca may curve north-northeastward back into the southwestern United States, but we'll have to wait and see. If that would happen, we may see a bit of cooling out that way and some rain shower activity, but that's about the extent of things. Heat will be building across the southwestern United States today, and as we head into Thursday, it spreads into the southern plains, Texas, trying to make its way into the Mississippi River Valley as well. Here's a look at the temperatures by Thursday afternoon. 105 across the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, also across the desert southwest, but the mid-90s making it all the way into Nebraska, portions of Missouri, and over into Mississippi. By Sunday, we're going to see a recharge of the coolness across the Great Lakes and New England. That will continue right on into the first part of next week, but heat will really be the dominant factor across most of the plain states, mid-Mississippi and lower Mississippi Valley, and all the way over into the mid-Atlantic and Carolinas and the southeastern United States as well. Now, the further along we get into the period here, the model starts to trend back towards climatological normals. So it doesn't have quite the influence that I think it'll see. By next Tuesday, southern two-thirds of the nation basic will be under the dome of heat. And when we take a look at the highs for next Tuesday, you'll see that temperatures don't look that hot based on the model. But again, we're trending towards the climatological normals. So yeah, we'll be in 5 or so degrees above normal here is what you're seeing. And I think it could be even warmer than that by next Tuesday from the Carolinas, mid-Atlantic, back to the mid-Mississippi Valley and all the way into the desert southwest. How can you beat the heat? Drink frequently, try to stay away from alcohol, wear lightweight clothing, avoid being outdoors during the heat of the day between 2 and 6 p.m., stay in air conditioning if possible, check on the elderly and the pets, and if the pets are outdoors, make sure they have shade and plenty of water, avoid strenuous activities, and eat foods that don't really metabolize that quickly in your system, because when your body metabolizes the foods, it actually burns energy and creates more need for water. That concludes today's weather briefing. Once again, thanks for stopping by, and if you have any comments or feedback, again, leave that right here for me. I'd like to read your feedback, make changes based on those feedback, or you can also email me at dopplerdale@dopplerdale.com. I'm also doing a photo collage of some of your neat photos that are weather related. We'll have that on the web in this blog post on Friday, so send those pictures with your name, the location that you took the photo, and right here at dopplerdale@dopplerdale.com, and we'll put that collage together again on Friday. And if you have a blog site that you'd also like mentioned with the credits, please make sure to include that with your email as well. Thanks so much, and have a great day.